Guruve Gaura Chanjaya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My Dandavat Pranam devotees. So, doing a brief answer to a question that was sent to me. And before I do that, I just wanted to, of course, as many devotees must know by now, that our dear spiritual mother, Srimati Umadidi, has entered Samadhi. And so, of course, beginning last night and probably into tonight as well on our other platforms, there'll be some remembrances and shared glorification of Srimati Umadidi. And of course, many devotees around the world have such fond memories of Umadidi and know how she was the personification of the mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga. She traveled, tirelessly and gave her full energy to not only Hari Katha, but she gave her energy to demonstrating what is bhajan life. Many times she stayed with me here at our temple home, and I had direct experience of seeing how deep her bhajan sadhan was on a daily basis. So we pray certainly for her causeless mercy to touch us in some small way, that we can have some ability in this life to walk the path of bhajan in the way that she did. I think most devotees will also admit that her personalism, the complete spirit of how, just like our Goswami Varga, Dira Dira Jana Priya Priya Karo, that she made everyone feel very dear and very near, and that she always treated all of us like sons and daughters. So, for most of us, we sort of had relegated our material relationships of parental considerations to sort of a back seat, more or less. And obviously because our parents may not have been in the direct process of bhakti. So where we may have given honor based on the fact they were parents, it was not the same emotional connection you could feel to Umadidi as a mother, literally, that she from her own mouth spoke to myself and to my good wife, personally feeding us by hand and saying, "Oh, I am like your mother." So we took that to heart at that time, and the many times that she stayed here with us in our temple home, we felt like that. So tonight, obviously, on other platforms, we'll have the ability to do more full glorification of Srimati Umadidi. So touching her lotus feet, as well as the lotus feet of my Guru Parapadma, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnu Pada Paramahansa, Ashtottara Satasisya Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and of course, our Param Guru Devs, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and Acharya Keshri, Srila Bhakti Pradhan Kesha Goswami Maharaj, and our entire Rupanuga Guru Varga. So with that, and hoping I can put some concentration, my heart is still in a certain space, but hopefully to significantly answer the question one devotee wrote in. And that question was whether or not Sri Guru comes again and again in order to deliver their disciples. So there's two things I want to mention. One is that The question, because I think the genesis of the question for that devotee was some articles and some posts regarding the philosophical doubt of whether that's a fact, and asking for Sastra Praman for proving that Sri Guru comes for their disciple life after life. But one thing we should try to grasp is that all Tattva Siddhant, all Sastra Praman are there to give support and savor to the bhav of bhakti. They are not the controllers of bhakti. All Gyan is the servant of bhakti. All Vairagya is the servant of bhakti, not opposite way around. So we also accept among 10 pramans Arsa or Sadhuvakya, means the saying of sadhus. And we have in our direct experience Srila Narottam Das Thakur saying, Chakudhan Diloye Janame Janame Prabhu se. Then he's also saying, Lokanath Lokera Jivan. That he is directly addressing to Lokanath Goswami, so we have context for his statement that Sri Guru is my Lord birth after birth. So we can give many shastric praman for the nature of Guru Tattva and Akanda Guru Tattva or Samashti Guru Tattva and Vyasti Guru Tattva and the nature of, how it's the principle of Akanda Guru Tattva working and all these various things. But the actual heart connection of a disciple to Sri Guru doesn't operate on the mechanics of Sastra Praman. It operates on the nature of their bhav. In fact, the relationship of Sri Guru to their Sishya is the first experience for that Sishya of what it means to have real love. In the material world, there is no real love. We've had semblances or reflections, perverted reflections of that throughout many, many lifetimes. But for the first time, or in a continuum of relation with Guru, we're having the experience of what is real love, transcendent love, truly unconditional love. You understand? We have not been able to experience that with Antaryami. Though the love of Antaryami, Super Soul, is unconditional, because the Super Soul has been with the Jiva throughout their entire sojourn from Anadi Kal. So the love of Antaryami is proven. Who will stay with you through all conditions of life, in all species of life? But we've not reciprocated that love. But that same Antaryami appears before the disciple, Chaitanya Charitamrita mentions, as Mahant, means the manifest presence of the principle of Akanda Guru Tattva and Antaryami, which are not different things. Understand? So Jive Sakshat Nai Chaitya Guru Rupe, because we cannot relate in our conditioned state to Antaryami, we don't get a chance to express the nature of unconditional loving reciprocation there in the beginning. But appearing as the Mahant means the spiritual master, Vyasti or spiritual master, Vyasti Guru Tattva. We have the first experience of love. So my point here being that experience is a spiritual, emotional content. And it is not dependent for philosophical resolution on the basis of Sastra. What is Guru? We can understand by Guru Tattva. What is the emotion between Guru and disciple? You can't understand by Guru Tattva. It has to be there by experience. You understand? What is the actual mood of Visrambena Seva to Sri Guru is an experiential thing. Rupa Goswami Pad has described it. Guru Padasraya Tata Diksha Shikshadi Visrambena Guru Seva. He's described, but the function and the actual nature of that relationship is experiential. So we can come with many different discussions about the principle of Guru and how it's the principle of Guru that appears in one lifetime after night, but one life after another. But for any sincere disciple of any Guru, their mood will be, my Guru Dev, Mamata, my Guru Dev has personally come life after life to save me. My Gurudev has come life after life in order to manifest what is the nature of my aspirational goal, Radhadasyam. My Gurudev has come life after life because our eternal connection of unconditional love is unbroken. Just like the love between any person and Bhagavan, once it is established, it is mentioned there. Savatta dongsaraitam yarapi dongshakarane yad bhava bandhano yuno prem parikirtita. Prem means that kind of love which cannot be broken. So the first glimpse of that through the incremental developments of Shraddha is with Sri Guru. So I don't want to make my Guru into a tattva. My Guru has to remain in my heart as the objective of an experience for the first time of what is real love. Now, not only do we have the statement of Srila Narottam Das Thakur in relation to Lokanath Goswami, but we also have Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentioning the relation of Gopal Guru Goswami and Dhyana Chandra Goswami. Now, it may be that those who are outside the Bhaktivinoda Dhara, they may or may not want to give as much credence to these statements. But of course, it is mentioned that once during difficulty, after the, quote, samadhi of Gopal Guru Goswami, some difficulty arose, and Dhyana Chandra Goswami in great despair was trying to resolve that issue, only to learn from travelers from Braj that they saw his Gurudev roaming there in Braj. So this is also one point. What is the nature of the root of Sri Gurudev? According to the maturation of the disciple, they will see either my Gurudev has simply appeared in this life, in this form, and has helped me to start to traverse the path of samsara, right? Over the obstacles of samsara. They'll see like that. More mature, they will see my Gurudev has appeared in the expansion of the Kripa Leela of Mahaprabhu. Ajapi se Leela kare gora roy kon kon bhagavan deki bari pai. The Leela of Mahaprabhu is going on even to this day. And my Gurudev in his Sadik Roop, he's a manifestation of the actual personification of the extension of that Gaur Leela. And the nature of Gaur Leela is so merciful that it extends down and touches the Jiva, where so much adhikar is needed to enter into the Madhurya or exclusive Leela of Sri Radha Krishna Yuga. Therefore, if you want to arise in the Antaranga of Sri Radha Madhav Seva, you have to enter to Gaur Leela. That Gaur Leela is so adhorja, so magnificent, it extends out and touches those jivas who from Anadikal have been conditioned. Also, if you study closely Sri Guru Ashtakam, that in the second shlok of Sri Guru Ashtakam, it is mentioned there, Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita. What's the significance here? Significance here is that following the dhyan, the meditation of Sri Guru Ashtakam, my Gurudev has appeared and saved me from the cycle of samsara and giving me the rope called Shraddha. And through that rope of Shraddha has begun to pull me gradually from the cycle of samsara first into Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Varitramadin, understanding what is Gaur Leela. So my Gurudev's Sadik Roop is that form in the extended Gaur Leela by which I made contact with the arena of bhakti. Understand? So that form is not ordinary. Not to mention, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad is directly said for those who are Siddha, that their bhajan is composed of Seva Sadika Rupena, Siddha Rupena Chatrahi. So my Gurudev also has Siddha Roop. So his Siddha Roop is his eternal manifestation in the Seva of Shri Radha Krishna Yuga, and one Gaur Roop Leela is his Sadak Roop in this world. So why disciple cannot meditate my Gurudev, inclusive of with this feature, that feature, etc., will come from me birth after birth. In your next birth, you cannot remember sometime what happened 2 days ago, what to speak of in a previous life. How you'll confirm yea or nay, that same Guru has come for you or not. except by trying to apply logic and philosophy and all these different things. And again, my original point was how important is the application here of philosophical principles. Do you need to analyze what is love? Do you need an analysis? Do you need to microscope it? What is love? Let me analyze the components. Let me see. Let me apply the science here. No. The science is applied to get an outcome, and when that outcome is reached, we want to experience the outcome. So even now, we want to experience something, what is love. And from the beginning of Shraddha, Ado Shraddha, coming into the actual nature of Shraddha in relation to Sadhu Sangha, into the influence of Swarup Shakti in the form of Bhajana Kriya, right? Because Swarup Shakti influences even in Shraddha. If Swarup Shakti Prabhav means influence was not there, not Swarup Shakti substance, Swarup Shakti Prabhav was not there, then you could not truly have the effect of Shraddha. And what is the effect of Shraddha? Shraddha Anupayani Varajam Bhakti Unmukha Chitti Vritti Visesh. From a Nadi Kal, you've not been able to turn away from the material energy. Clearly explained in 11th Canto Bhagavatam. I've quoted so many times. Nadi Vijay Yuktasha, Purusha Shavedatmanam Swato now, Sambhavanti Anya, Gyanata, Gyanatva, Gyanadobhavet. It requires another person to give you the mercy to even be able to turn away from the material energy. So Shri Guru is the dispenser of that Shraddha. You understand? And the nature of that is Gyanatva, means the realization of Guru, right? And also Gyanada. So this word da means to give. So the disposition under which Shri Guru gives this Shraddha into the heart of any aspiring or any fortunate jiva, that da, that propensity to give, is love and affection, kripa. You understand? Their love and affection is manifested as kripa, right? So we should think that this love and affection is to be reciprocated with on an experiential level, right? In the very beginning, it may be some difficult because our conceptions are not mature and our particular vision is not clearly formed. But there's an intrinsic quality when one has the experience of Shri Guru, because Shri Guru Dev is transcendent personality. It's clearly mentioned in Shastra, no one should ever think Shri Guru is an ordinary person. You understand? So we should feel that, yes, this loving relationship that I have with Shri Guru, it is an eternal fact, and therefore he is Satguru. He is the eternal manifestation of the unconditional love, which manifests first in the Guru-Sishya relationship. It matures to the realization in relation to Gaur Lila. It matures in relation to the realization of the objective in Radha Krishna Lila according to your particular mood. Understand? So we want to be able to see that continuum. How my Guru is my Guru Rupasaki in my perfected stage, and in the stage of my unfoldment, he is the eternal manifestation of the Kripa of the principle of Akhanda Guru Tattva, which saves me life after life. But that is not some just Tattva or some impersonal principle. It is the personified nature of my Shri Guru. And therefore I will drink fully the Rup, Gun, Prachar, Achar, and everything of my Guru as I've seen him in the nature of the extension of Gaur Lila in his Sadhak Rup. Other than that, why collect the Paduka of Guru and keeping on your altar the Murti and pictures of your Guru? Why? If they're simply a principle. So the idea here is that this is the first experiential connection of love for any jiva. You understand? And we don't want philosophy to cloud that relationship. Even in the relative mundane world, nobody goes around with us today. Today is the mundane, the Valentine's Day thing too, so maybe a very good topic. But we don't go around analyzing, oh, my darling wife, my darling children, my darling mother, father, etc. Oh, I love you, but here's how this works. Who does like that? You understand? So the question itself, it may be It's a valid question. I don't want to say the question is not valid. But in terms of understanding, we should understand that everything is not a matter of a philosophical or siddhantic principle. Now, some people may be so infatuated by tattva siddhanta, all these things, that it becomes more difficult to make a connection or correlation between what is tattva siddhanta, what is the nature of rasa, not rasa vichara, rasa. Rasa means the nature of the loving exchanges. You understand? Rasa vichara means a consideration about the siddhanta regarding rasa. But rasa itself has its own existence. Now, of course, actually, genuine rasa only comes in the heart once it's been illuminated by Swarup Shakti. Vyatiti bhavana bhatma yas chamatkara bharabhu vidi sattva ujjale bhadam. So rasa can only be contained when sattva ujjale, when the heart is illuminated by Swarup Shakti. But Shraddha are the incremental stages of that very Swarup Shakti. So in incremental stages, one will have the up to the stage of asakti will come as a prabhav, predominantly. Means an influence, right? In your practice and in your unfoldment. In the stage of asakti, it will then appear as the abhas of an actual eternal parikar's mood. And then, of course, in bhavavas, it will appear as the substance itself of the descent of Aladini and Sandini. Aladini and Samvit. Sandinis are automatically indicated, because when you talk about the descent of Swarup Shakti, it indicates the place of its descent. So that place would have to be Sandhini Shakti. That's why you hear from our Goswami Vaga the descent of Aladini and Samvit, because it's indicated axiomatically that the presence of Sandhini Shakti is there as the basis on which it will descend, which is the purified heart. Understand? So this was meant to be short, just to point out this fact, that we can ask the question, does my same Guru come for me life after life? Point is, be more focused on creating deep relationship with Guru now. Is perhaps more important thing, right? The relationship with Guru and Vaishnava, right? So Diksha and Shiksha Gurus, in many cases, other Vaishnavas may be like Shiksha Guru. So developing thick relationship with them is very important. And especially to train our emotional content. Because for so many lifetimes, our emotional content has been vested in artificial forms of love. So for the first time that you're experiencing real and transcendent love, give your full investment there. That's why the doorway to bhakti is called sadhanagati. Right? So first, make your sadhanagati and your prapatti there at the lotus feet of Sri Guru with mamata and with emotional content. Right? So I'm not so interested in what is the philosophical outcome of whether my Gurudev is coming in one form, another form. That form in which I've seen my Gurudev in this lifetime is an eternal impression. Praktanaka duni chasti yat sat bhakti vasana. The bhakti vasanas are created by your practice in relation to Sri Guru. So that form that you've seen in this life, that is an impression in your chitta as a spiritual impression, not the material impression. Right? So that impression will manifest again and again. You understand? But the impression, who was my mother, 15 births ago, that impression is not there. You understand? So we should think like this, that the nature of relationship with Guru is like this. And we want this very much. Shri Guru is everything. Especially when Shri Guru enters Samadhi, any sincere disciple, they should be able to understand this, because the fuel of that separation mood is the genesis for feelings of when Akrura will come to take Krishna to Mathura. Follow my chain of thought. The seed and genesis of the mood of what is Radhadasyam at the time of Bhavan Milan, when Krishna is being taken from Braj to Mathura. The seed genesis of that feeling is the feeling generated by Sri Gurudev's Samadhi. And even prior to Sri Gurudev's Samadhi, anytime one is being separated from Sri Guru. I remember very clearly, and I didn't understand it for quite some time, nor did I try to mentally analyze it. But whenever my Guru Pada Padma would come to any place for his Harikatha Seva, and he would then travel to the next place, as he was leaving, devotees would gather around the car. And even each night after the Harikatha, and as Srila Gurudev entered the vehicle to go to the place of residence for that night, or to go to the airport for the next travel place, devotees would sing Govinda Damo Dharamadaveti, Govinda Damo Dharamadaveti. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Akrur came to take Sri Krishna to Mathura, the gopis sang this very song. Visrajala Jaruda Swa Suswaram Govinda Damodara Madhavati. Here it's mentioned Visraja Lajja. They gave up all shyness, because the nature of Madhurya Rasa is, one element is called Prachana Mukata. It should be kept deeply hidden. Right? Just like when Gopi is speaking in Venu Geet, it is predominated by Avahita Bhav. Means the way of speaking to cover your mood. Understand? So, but here, when Krishna was being taken on that chariot, Visraja Lajja, Ruda Sma, they began crying profusely. You understand? Overwhelmed by what they were witnessing. Suswaram. So suswar means like the musical notes, right? Like sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, right? These are swar in Arohan and Avaroham way, going up and down a musical scale. This is called swar. So here it's mentioned suswaram, one musical note and hence melody that manifested in their open expression now of love towards Krishna in front of all. And it came out as Govinda Dhamo Dharmadavati. Right? So many meanings are here, and this is not the subject matter speaking, but the point here being, my Guru Pada Padma reciprocated this mood with us each time he would be leaving. You understand? So I don't need Tattva Siddhant to substantiate that feeling that I would have, or any other many devotees would have, upon seeing that time and time and time again, and then finally seeing it in relation to Srila Gurudev's Samadhi Lila. So also, we cannot think that Sri Gurudev's body is mundane material composition. You understand? And that the Samadhi Lila is a funeral for burial. So I'm not explaining Samadhi. I know devotees are very mature. Samadhi, Gurudev enters only into Antradasha and becomes absorbed in Antradasha in his Siddha Swarup, right? And therefore our relationship with Guru at that time comes via the mechanism of the depth of our bhajan life. You understand? So in the depth of my bhajan life, I'll also see my Srila Gurudev in that sadhak group. And then in a deeper way, we'll also see Srila Gurudev in his Siddha Swarup. Some Gurus in our Guru Varga have revealed their Siddha Rup, others have not. But it is accessible by the depth of bhajan. Because even if Gurudev will reveal, I am Nayana Mani Manjari, understand? I am Kamala Manjari, I am Ramana Manjari. Still, that will have to be realized in your bhajan to have that experience. And the helpful vehicle for that is the dhyan of Guru Ashtakam in progressive stages through the Guru Ashtakam in 6th verse, Nikunja Yuno Rati Keli Siddhai. This is by dhyan, the verse of indication of the aspiration, or if your bhajan is mature, the actual realization of Sri Gurudev's Siddha Swarup. And like this, the nature of the realization of Gurudev's Siddha Swarup and seeing his Leela as a Nikunja Sevak gives so much chamatkar that it causes murchi, means fainting. And then upon awakening again, finding yourself in your sadhak group, in the presence of Srila Gurudev in his sadhak group, glorifying the nature of Sri Guru, Sakshat Harittvena, Samasta Shastriya, etc. Understand? So, we don't want to minimize relationship with Gurudev to become under the jurisdiction of mechanics of Siddhanta. Don't think it doesn't mean I don't appreciate having the guardrails of Siddhanta in terms of not allowing mundane, apasidantic concepts that come around Guru. Guru is God, or something like that, or some other apasidantic conclusions regarding Shri Guru Tattva. But in terms of the emotional content of Sishya and disciple, that we should give some special jurisdiction to, and realize that our Siddhantic capabilities, no matter how great, cannot bring jurisdictional control over the heart of the exchange between Guru and disciple. So I hope this point, Prabhuji, it was a good question. My heart is in a certain space now, so maybe I didn't give best expression. I'm trying my best, right? I didn't give maybe best of full expression, but hopefully this was helpful. And I know you to be a dear disciple of Srila Gurudev, so you can have some relation to what I'm speaking in relation directly to our Guru Parapadma. And in terms of the philosophical debate, I don't know if I would be involved. I think you're better off to deal with your own emotional content in relation to Sri Gurudev. And, you know, don't also criticize, because maybe that discussion is going on the basis of the need to somebody genuinely want to understand this subject matter. So that's my backed up 2 cents, and I will leave it here. So, of course, Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai, and Didi ki jai ho. Jai Vancha Kalpaturubhisya Kripa Sindhaveva Cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Radhe Radhe.